Howdy guys, welcome back to what? That's right, welcome back to another episode of Real Bizarre. You know, world is full of wonderful and beautiful places, and it's a real shame that some of the most staggering views are very hard to reach. Well, at least it's a good thing that we can check those places out through the screens of our monitors and our mobile devices. Okay, get ready guys. Today I'm gonna be telling you about one of the most remote and isolated places in the world, the Edinburgh
of the Seven Seas.
A romantic colony on the edge of the world. A lovely little town halfway between South America and Africa, and it's a British overseas territory. Tourists rarely visit the island, and the government officials come around only once a few months. So the island is all about quiet, peaceful, and hasteless existence. The name, Edinburgh of the Seven Seas, is very romantic, isn't it? It's a part of the Tristan da Cunha archipelago. Tristan da Cunha isn't just an island, it's an active volcano. The island isn't small, but for the most part it's all rocks and slopes and sheer cliffs. The eruption of 1961 forced the settlers to abandon their homes. All was rebuilt 2 years later and the vast majority returned to their land. These days the island is populated by the second and third generation of the squatters. The first ones came about the end of the 19th century. Rumor has it that the British wanted to capture Napoleon on his way to the island of St. Helena, where he was deported and bound to spend the rest of his life in captivity. So apparently the first time the British landed their feet on Tristan da Cunha was when they were after Napoleon. When you enter the main square, you see a cool looking waymark that indicates the distance to different cities, like London, Oslo, Cape Town, Rio, and so on and so forth. Like Rio, for example, is 3,360 kilometers away, and it's 2,400 kilometers to Cape Town. So it's very easy to feel alone in Edinburgh of the Seven Seas, you can imagine. Boats don't follow any schedule, and planes, trains and cars are not an option. The port can't fit large vessels, and those rarely come anyways. Usually, islanders meet ships once or 2 times a month in the Bay Area. Sometimes when there's a storm, ships just pass them by without stopping. So if you're hoping to leave the town, you would likely have to join some tourists that sometimes visit the island by boats. As you probably imagine, they didn't even have internet until recently. People of the Edinburgh of the Seven Seas feel the lack of energy sources and diesel. And that's why they decided to start using more renewable energy sources. But despite that, life isn't all that rough on the island. People have all the food they need, they have cattle, and some of the men are great fishermen, so these people won't starve to death, that's for certain. The interesting thing about these people is that they always catch lobsters, and they sell them to Japan, where they're ready to pay tons of money for those lobsters. The town itself is very small. They only have 1 doctor, 1 policeman, 1 school, a cafe, a little corner store, and a post office. Oh, and they actually have 2 churches, Anglican Church and a Catholic church. You know, it's a genuine colony because the land officially belongs to those 270 people. All of them are relatives. Policemen and teachers come from the mainland once every 3 years. You couldn't stay on the island even if you wanted. They don't sell their land to anybody, so this way you can't stay on the island for too long. Locals speak English, only they speak a dialect of the 19th century that sounds a bit weird and funny to the modern ear. They've got an oceanic type of climate going on there. The temperature rarely goes below 10 degrees Celsius, even during the winter. Also, 24 degrees Celsius is an absolute maximum. For this type of climate, the weather sometimes gets very hot and you can really bathe in the sun and burn in less than an hour. Constant winds cause a lot of trouble to these people. They build garages to keep their cars safe from wind more than from rain. Yes, that's true. A car can be caught up in the wind and be blown away like a flower. And the way they dry their clothes is very unusual. Also, they grow a lot of New Zealand flax to fight against the wind. They don't let it spread around, but they make them bushy, and the 5-meter high shoots do their job very well. So that's all the story of Edinburgh of the Seven Seas. Tell me guys, would you like to check it out? For how long would you stay there? Remember to answer those questions in the comments. Don't forget to press the bell, the like button, and subscribe to Real Bizarre if you haven't already. Thanks a lot for watching guys, I'll see you next time.